This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. A Manitoba man who nearly died from a severe infection is pushing for changes in the province. He was septic and ended up in the ICU, all because he couldn't get critical care early enough. Right now, only nurse practitioners and doctors are able to order antibiotics for sepsis, a rule recently scrapped elsewhere to speed up care. Now some want Manitoba to follow suit. Santiago Arias Orozco reports.
This was Mac Horsburgh in a coma after an emergency surgery. He had a small cyst on his finger 9 years ago that got infected. He says it was misdiagnosed for inflammation.
That was the beginning of nearly the end for me.
The infection is spreading to Horsburgh's bloodstream and turning to sepsis. That's when the body's response to an infection damages its own organs and can become deadly.
I was enraged that a simple infection in my finger could create this kind of trauma.
Now he's a national pickleball champion, and he wants Manitoba to change the way it identifies and treats sepsis.
Medical care saved my life, but medical care in the early stages created a problem for me too.
Right now in Manitoba, doctors, nurse practitioners, and physician assistants can prescribe antibiotics for sepsis. Nova Scotia had similar rules until September. In that province, nurses and paramedics can now order sepsis treatment in the emergency department and urgent care centers.
The earlier we can move that critical piece of care in a patient's journey in the emergency department, the better for things like sepsis.
A spokesperson for Manitoba's health minister says it is looking at expanding who can prescribe medication for sepsis. A Winnipeg intensive care physician is in favor of the change.
Earlier treatments, makes people get better faster. It means their hospital stays will be shorter. It means the complications of sepsis will be fewer.
But he says any change needs to come with training and protocols.
If we give an antibiotic that's too narrow, we might actually miss the infection, and that is associated with a worse outcome.
Horsburgh is happy Manitoba is considering expanding prescription powers.
Words are one thing, actions speak louder than words, so I'm still going to wait and see.
For now, the province says it's focused on making sure all patients with sepsis get treated the same way across Manitoba. Then they will look at ways to treat patients faster and hopefully prevent cases like Horsburgh in the future. Santiago Arias Orozco, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Several inner-city organizations have added their voices to a letter calling for major changes to Winnipeg Transit. It was sent to Mayor and Council, urging elected officials to take action and make the system more reliable. As CBC's Josh Crabb reports, it comes amid an unpopular overhaul to bus routes.
Getting a bus to the North End Women's Centre where she works as a counsellor is now more complicated for Janelle Wincup.
I've been late for work a few times, which has resulted in my taking Ubers much more often than I would like.
The city's new spine and feeder system has been widely criticized over concerns about longer trips, overcrowded buses, and stops that are too far apart. Wincup's employer on Selkirk Avenue near Salter sees around 120 daily visits to connect women with a broad range of supports. They're among a group of organizations who say in a letter to Mayor and Council they're deeply concerned by the lack of investment in supporting public transit.
Transit is their lifeline to get to and from where they're needing to go. And, the accessibility has decreased so significantly.
Orly Linovsky from the University of Manitoba's Department of City Planning says spending money on increasing the frequency of service would have more long-term benefits than adding and maintaining new lanes on Kenaston Boulevard.
People's jobs and livelihoods are at risk because of issues with unreliable public transit. Their quality of life is poor.
Public Works Committee Chair Janice Luke says transit has listened to feedback and is making tweaks to the system. Luke argues the city is spending on transit but needs more help from higher levels of government.
We are investing more than ever in transit and subsidizing transit with tax dollars more than ever because we want people to take the bus.
But all that spending so far isn't translating into better service for Whincup.
It's like everything that we knew of the transit system was ripped from underneath us, which was one piece, but the logistics behind it don't really make sense. There's a lot more walking.
While she's trying to get used to the new system, Whincup worries it's isolating others from friends and community supports. Josh Crabb, CBC News, Winnipeg.
It was a public and heated debate last night all over a bill that would increase the length of time an intoxicated person can be detained. Bill 48 would allow for an involuntary detox hold up to 72 hours. Currently, it's 24 hours. If passed, the NDP plans to open a detox center at 190 Disraeli as early as next month. Dozens of people spoke at a public hearing on the bill, including a man whose son died from fentanyl poisoning. He's criticizing the plan, saying without investing in long-term treatment, it will fail.
I feel sorry for the individual that gets picked up on this 72-hour detainment and then left out, sick, hungry, still in a state of psychosis. Now, have we made things worse or have we made things better?
Winnipeg's police chief says he supports the bill. He says police need a safe place other than a hospital to take people under the effect of drugs. Now, just over a week out now from the Elmwood-East Kildonan by-election, and candidates are flooding doorsteps with promises on crime, transit, and community programs. The by-election was triggered by the sudden death of Councillor Jason Schreier, and whoever succeeds him could shake up City Council. CBC's Cameron McLean reports.
The signs are there that a by-election is happening in Elmwood-East Kildonan. Carmen Prefontaine says poor planning at City Hall is costing taxpayers, something she's learned as a 16-year city employee, currently working in the Safety, Health and Wellness Division.
I'm right downtown dealing with things at City Hall and Council, so I'm just familiar with all the operations of the city.
The longtime union volunteer says the city needs to invest more in frontline services like firefighters. Prefontaine is one of 7 people running to fill the seat left vacant by the death of Jason Schreier in April. Last week, his family threw their support behind Chris Swarita, his executive assistant since 2022.
I did many other projects, like the food projects and working with constituents, and I was working for him right up until he passed.
And we are going to send a strong message to the mayor.
Another candidate who previously worked with Schreier, Braden Mazurkiewicz, has taken a combative tone on the campaign trail.
I'm hearing that our New Louise Bridge project's been getting the can kicked down the road for decades, and we're going to get a New Louise Bridge built. And there's been no investment from City Hall down in Elmwood-East Kildonan. So they need to send a fighter to City Hall on October 25th.
Abel Gutierrez, a construction manager, says he decided to run after he faced permit delays trying to repair his garage after a fire.
So if it's taking exorbitant amounts of time to get a plan and a permit pushed through the city, we have some inefficiencies, and I think there's things that we can do to clean that up.
Emma Durand-Wood says she thinks residents are tired of negativity and want proactive solutions, from more frequent buses to better youth programs.
It's easy to kind of get bogged down by all the negative stuff that's going on in the world, but when we talk about actual solutions and what those things could look like, it's really about investing in community, building community capacity.
Crime, infrastructure, transit, recreation, all these issues come up when candidates talk to voters on the doorstep. Former councillor Jason Schreier was often an outsider at City Hall, never serving on executive policy committee and often critical of the mayor and his inner circle. As much as the policies, voters must choose what kind of relationship they want their representative to have with the rest of council.
Candidates have just over a week to make their case before voters in Elmwood-East Kildonan head to the polls on October 25th. Cameron McLean, CBC News, Winnipeg.
There are 2 other candidates also running in the by-election, Kyle Roach and Zachariah Salahadin. All right, let's bring in Riley Lachak. And Riley, I can see from behind you, but also from being outside earlier today, man, oh man, was it a wet one.
Yeah, another damp one, another humid one, gloomy, Brittany. We are looking at the tail end of this starting to push out as we get into the overnight hours tonight. Look at where we have come. This is Thursday up to Friday morning at 10 a.m. Winnipeg, as expected, in that 8 to 13 millimeter range. Tack on a couple for what we saw throughout the day today, or even a few millimeters, particularly the further east you were in the city. Kenora, 19 millimeters. Portage at 10, 20 in Letellier, 14 to 16 in Morden Winkler, and close to 20 in the Brandon region. So a bit of a spread, as expected, throughout parts of the province over the last couple of days here. You can see the center of that low now starting to move up into northeastern Manitoba and northwestern Ontario. A couple of scattered showers yet to come here in the Red River Valley as we get into the evening hours here tonight. Then we get into a bit of clearing, 4 degrees overnight. We'll start to pick up the winds a bit as we get into the day tomorrow. 6 degrees, a partly cloudy sky. First thing in Brittany, we're looking for a bit of a brighter one tomorrow. Maybe a bit more rain on the way. I'll talk about that when I come back.
All right. Thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
One Northern First Nation is looking to halt rising drug addiction in its community. What they're doing to help combat the problem, next. A sacred fire has been lit in Winnipeg to honor the life of a young teen killed in Alberta. A handful of people showed up to say prayers and give tobacco for 14-year-old Samuel Bird. The 14-year-old had been missing since June 1st after he left home to visit a friend, garnering national attention. It led to a massive months-long search by family, volunteers, and search and rescue teams. Yesterday, his body was found in a rural area outside Edmonton. Daryl Contois, who has helped lead searches in Manitoba, helped with the effort to find Bird.
It's hard to lose a child. It's hard not knowing where they are. You know, it's to wake up and, you know, your child is missing. That's a parent's worst nightmare.
Brian Farrell was arrested Wednesday and charged with second-degree murder and interfering with a body. The 38-year-old is also facing 13 other charges. It's a problem residents in northern Manitoba community are seeing an increase of youth falling victim to substance abuse and a lack of resources available to help them through it. Now they're trying to change that. As part of CBC's Communities in Focus initiative, Felicia Adam was in Opaskwayak Cree Nation and has this story.
Up north, a small community is close to creating a first-of-its-kind space in Manitoba, fighting against drug use. And it's welcomed news for 23-year-old Mandy Biggity, who is recovering from years of substance abuse. Over the years, she's noticed the situation in Opaskwayak Cree Nation worsen.
It's a normal occurrence. Teenagers younger than I was are smoking meth, and you see high school students consuming that meth. You see these drug dealers giving this meth to the youth.
The community of just over 6,000 people is seeing a rise in drugs coming in.
It impacts our youth in such a devastating way where we will lose the lives of the youth and the children.
Right now,
Donna Asmus oversees the National Native Alcohol and Drug Abuse Program and is the Community Wellness Manager at Beatrice Wilson Health Center.
I just see a lot of our children suffering from the substance abuse that does occur. And it's really sad.
The community has no permanent addiction center, which means people needing a rehab facility have to go elsewhere for care. To combat that, in March, Opaskwayak Health Services and Child and Family Services created a 21-day pilot program running out of here. So far, the program has helped over a dozen people, but Asmus says the permanent facility they want to build would more than double the number of people accessing care.
So this is the blueprint of our new facility that we're wanting to build. This is Egg Lake Healing Center.
The center, according to Asmus, would be the first of its kind in Manitoba, supporting not only individuals, but families as well.
This area is our accommodations, like our individual and family facility. So they will accommodate 20 individuals and then four or five families.
Equipped with a gym, daycare, sweat lodge, and classrooms, the program would be 3 months long and include life skill classes like cooking and budgeting.
Just based on the amount of time that we have with them is that we're creating those strong boundaries, practicing with them in regards to saying no.
And while they have the blueprints, the land, and the program developed, they're lacking the infrastructure.
We need the money, we need the secure funds to get this going.
$63 million to be exact. Funding they've applied for last fall through Indigenous Services Canada. Asmus says they're in limbo, waiting for an answer.
And I know things take time, however, we need this, like I said yesterday.
Biggity says the delay in building the new facility would be devastating for those struggling with substance abuse.
Dealing with a drug addiction is very hard. And if we don't have that support, family support, community support, then what do we expect? They will lose their lives.
A spokesperson from Indigenous Services Canada says they've received and reviewed the proposal but couldn't provide a status on the application. Meanwhile, the community says once they do get that funding, it would take another 3 to 5 years to build the facility. Felicia Adams, CBC News, Opaskwayak, Cree Nation.
A First Nations housing project in Winnipeg is nearly done. The 6-story building on Marion Street is owned by Opaskwayak Cree Nation and has 127 units. About 40% of them are deemed deeply affordable and reserved for First Nations members. OCN's chief says housing here for young people has always been an issue. He expects the first tenants to move in next fall. The project cost $38 million, with most of the funding coming from Ottawa, and the city contributed more than $2 million. Riley back in now, and it's days like this that warm my West Coast heart because it feels like a little taste of home.
Yes. You know what I like on days like today? A nice warm meal.
Yes.
Nice hot meal.
Yes. I had some of that last night. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit later in the show why I wasn't here last night. So I will get to that, but it does have something to do with feeding hungry bellies.
Well, I'm going to talk about fall suppers, because that's also a really good one. We have many happening across the province this weekend. Here's a snapshot of some of them that are happening. We'll start in the Winnipeg area into eastern Manitoba. Several happening on Saturday. St. Francis Xavier into Netley, Reynolds, Plum Cooley. Maybe these icons are overdoing the cloud cover a little bit, but we are looking at a general mix of sun and clouds throughout the day tomorrow. Temperatures hanging around the 10-degree mark for the most part. Ile de Chêne happening on Sunday, looking at a temperature of 9 degrees for that one. We have the Pas happening on Sunday. Plumas, Minnedosa also happening on Sunday, looking at a mix of sun and clouds. Sunnier earlier in the day, and then west-east into Sunday, we'll see some clouds building in. So maybe some nice warm food will help you through these damp couple of days that we've had across the province. We are looking at a bit more rain into northern parts of the province as the slow pushes a little bit further north as we get through the overnight hours, looking at 10 to 15 millimeters in places like Gillam, Shamattawa through the evening hours and into the early morning. Temperatures close enough to freezing that we could see some of this transitioning into a mix or some flurries in the Thompson region, for example, into the morning hours. For the south, we're under a mainly sunny sky to start the day. As we get later in the afternoon, though, through the Inner Lake, places like Ashern, for example, into Arborg, into the Narrows, looking at the potential for some scattered showers. I do have a chance of scattered showers in Winnipeg through the evening hours as we see some northwesterly winds on the backside of the slow pushing through. That could bring us a couple of showers into eastern Manitoba as well as we head into the evening hours. So just something to be aware of. Not another steady rain by any means, but just the potential for some scattered showers coming. Sunshine into Sunday, but then we'll get some cloud cover building in ahead of another area of low pressure that starts to push its way into the province as we get into Monday. And I do have a good chance of showers in the forecast for much of the south as we get into the early part of next week here. What this is translating to, another couple of millimeters, if that, for much of southern Manitoba, but the north becomes the focus of attention here. Now they're up to 20, some pockets where we see up to 30 plus millimeters of rain as we get through the next couple of days as this low pushes off over Hudson Bay. So waking up tomorrow morning, temperatures around 4 or 5 degrees for most of us, 5 in Dauphin, on the freezing mark in Thompson first thing in the morning. And then in the long range, we stay in the double digits, Brittany, as we get through Sunday, Monday, and then back down into the single digits by midweek.
Thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
Halloween is in 2 weeks, and here's one house all ready to go on Meadowood. We have more straight ahead. AGM Renovations once used celebrity contractor Mike Holmes to draw in customers until he cut ties. And when the company suddenly shut down, CBC investigated. It took Asha Tomlinson and the Marketplace team overseas, where they tried to track down its CEO for answers.
I was feeling betrayed.
Ramon Guanzon hired AGM Renovations in January to reno his basement. He paid $66,000 up front. The project never got off the ground. And there were other clients who also raised concerns about shoddy work. We told AGM, and they pushed back, saying they did nothing wrong.
A national company under investigation.
Then another CBC report exposed serious electrical problems. Mike Holmes, who had been a part of AGM's branding, cut ties. Soon after, AGM shut down, blaming our coverage, leaving Canadians in the lurch, some even filing lawsuits. Doors locked. We visited AGM's headquarters to find CEO Ivan Atanesov. He wasn't there. Checked out this home listed in corporate documents, too. I'm just wondering if Ivan is home?
No, he doesn't live here.
Social media gave us a lead. He's in Bulgaria, renovating this rural home. We are on our way to Bulgaria. While investigating a few locations linked to the CEO, we're stopped by police twice, had to show our passports. Our security consultant advised a third stop could see us detained, even arrested. So we crossed the border into Romania, and Bulgarian journalist Maria Cherisheva went to Atanesov's home for us.
I'm ringing again.
Okay.
Hello, Ivan Atanasov?
Да, слушам.
Hi, Ivan. There are many people in Canada who are out with thousands of dollars, and they feel quite betrayed. So what would you like to tell them? Because they really want to hear your response. Are you still there?
He didn't say anything more, but for Canadians caught in the fallout, we'll keep pushing for answers. Asha Tomlinson, CBC News, Bucharest, Romania.
A consumer information group has reported finding worrying levels of a dangerous substance in many popular protein powders. The substance? Lead. The CBC's Alison Northcott has the story.
Hips back, chest up.
This strength and conditioning coach says a lot of her clients use protein powders.
It is quite often hand in hand with strength-based training, fitness training.
But an investigation by the nonprofit organization Consumer Reports tested 23 protein powders and shakes and found 2/3 contained more lead in a single serving than their food safety experts say is safe to consume in a day, some by more than 10 times.
There are a couple that had really concerning levels of lead, and those our experts say, hey, we think you should kind of just avoid taking these altogether. There are others that we recommend kind of limiting your usage, and others seem fine to take daily, and even one we found no lead in.
If you are regularly...
This food safety professor says no amount of lead is safe.
That is building up in your body over time, and that can lead to systemic problems such as in children, neurodevelopmental problems, in adults, cognitive decline, mood disorders, chronic kidney disease, and even reproductive effects.
Plant-based protein powders were among those with the most lead, in part because plants can be contaminated by the soil or air while they're growing. Some companies named in the report pushed back. One brand, Huel, called it alarmist and said its products meet globally recognized food safety standards. Naked Nutrition said its Naked Vegan Mass Gainer has a larger serving size than most protein powders, and the data does not provide an accurate apples-to-apples comparison. Some of the products tested are available for Canadians to purchase online. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency says it's been monitoring lead in protein powders since 2011 and says after its last survey in 2019, Health Canada determined none of the samples posed a health risk.
If you're worried, have a little less.
At the gym, the guidance is moderation. Consumer Reports suggest before buying a protein powder, do some research to find out exactly what's in it. Alison Northcott, CBC News, Montreal.
Gold prices surged above $4,300 per ounce over the last few weeks after years of gradual increases. It's forcing some Canadian jewelers to raise their prices. Jenna Benchitrit reports.
Some Canadian jewelry brands are raising their prices as a surge in demand for gold pushes the precious metal to record highs.
There are certain products that we've already had to increase the pricing on.
The high cost of gold isn't sustainable for Vancouver-based jewelry designer Melanie Ault. And an uptick in silver prices isn't making it easier. The company now sells less fine jewelry and relies on cheaper materials like wood, leather, and stone.
We're seeing both of the main materials that we use increasing drastically, and I think it's severely affecting jewelry designers and then the consumer base in turn.
Brands like Toronto's Majori, which says it makes accessible jewelry, have also raised prices to manage the cost of gold. But another Toronto company, Jenny Bird, is taking a different approach. COO Preeti Kapoor says it relies on supplier discounts and delayed shipments to avoid hiking prices.
We're more focused on keeping the jewelry as is, the material as is, and focusing on other ways in our supply chain and in our operating expenses to shave costs to keep our profitability strong.
Gold is considered a safe asset when the economy is unstable. The surge began when investors, spooked by a shaky US dollar, rushed to buy the precious metal. Gold futures, a kind of agreement to buy or sell assets at a set price in the future, went up. That part of the investment market can influence the current price for actual raw gold, making it more expensive for jewelers. But as analyst John Ng points out, there's only so much of it to go around.
There's not that much gold mining going on. In fact, gold reached peak production 2 years ago.
According to Ng, history shows those prices are likely to keep going up. Jenna Benchitrit, CBC News, Toronto.
The Carney government is unveiling some new border measures that will be included in the upcoming budget. Ottawa plans to hire an additional 1,000 new border agents. It will also more than quadruple the recruit stipend, improve benefits, and make early retirement easier. It's part of the government's pledge to crack down on cross-border traffic in drugs, illegal guns, and stolen cars. The trial for a man accused of selling a toxic substance to people at risk of suicide has been delayed until the spring of next year. Kenneth Law has been charged with 14 counts of first-degree murder and 14 counts of counseling or aiding suicide. A trial by jury was previously scheduled to begin last month in Ontario, but has been rescheduled twice. The 60-year-old's case has made headlines around the world. Investigators say Law sent about 1,200 packages to buyers in 40 countries before his websites were shut down. A CBC News investigation found his products may be linked to 133 deaths worldwide. The UN says problems persist in the desperate effort to deliver aid in Gaza. Provisions are entering the enclave, 560 metric tons each day, but little is reaching Gaza's famine-hit north. 2 crossing points along Gaza's northern border remain under Israeli closure, and trucks heading from the south have to contend with severely damaged roads. In Gaza City, World Food Program aid distribution has yet to begin. Across Gaza, officials say the number of truckloads needed each week is in the thousands. Well, the world has been watching the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. CBC's The Fifth Estate went to the occupied West Bank. There, it investigated the connection between Israeli settler violence and how Canadian charities are supporting Israeli settlements that Canada says are illegal under international law and a barrier to peace. Fifth Estate co-host Joanna Rumiliotis reports.
In the West Bank, a familiar scene plays out. Khadr and Fatima Nawaja say they were sleeping outside on their farm in the Palestinian village of Susia to get some respite from the August heat. They woke to Israeli settlers attacking them.
اعتدوا علي. أنا من يوم ما صحيت من النوم بالحجار، يعني مش حجار بسيطة، بعد نحتاج الحجار بالعصي يعني.
مش قادر لا أضرب ولا أدافع عن حالي ولا أدافع عن جوز إيدي نازلة. تذكرت إنها بنتي نايمة في الغرفة.
The United Nations says settler violence against Palestinians in the West Bank has surged since the Hamas attack of October 7th, 2023.
Here the home of Khader.
Nasser Nawaja shows us where his relatives were struck. He says attacks are often met with impunity because Israeli soldiers do little, if anything, to stop them.
Nobody help us, nobody save us.
Canada condemns the escalating violence, as well as the expansion of Israeli settlements, including here in Susia, which are considered illegal under international law. Details of filings sent by Canadian charities to the Canada Revenue Agency reveal millions of charitable dollars are supporting settlements and Israeli military personnel, contrary to public policy.
Canada promotes the idea of Palestinian human rights, and Israeli settlements in the occupied territories violate all of these principles.
In one example, we were offered a Canadian tax receipt for donating towards an Israeli settlement, also called Susia, that is near the Nawaja's village, even though the funds were solicited by an Israeli entity called the Har Hebron Fund, which Canada sanctioned last year for its role in facilitating settler violence. After we asked to interview the organizations involved, we got an email informing us our donation was taken in error and would be refunded. The charities we reached out to turned down or ignored our requests for interviews. Meanwhile, critics question why Canadians are still getting tax breaks for those donations.
I think most people would be outraged. This is many millions of dollars that could otherwise be benefiting Canadians.
Joanna Rumeliotis, CBC News, Toronto.
You can watch Funding the Occupation tonight on the Fifth Estate at 9 p.m. local on CBC TV and GEM. You can also stream it now on YouTube. It's a sacred and powerful reminder of the atrocities of residential schools. Now, this symbol of strength is being restored. More on that ahead. It's a symbol of strength and resilience, a sacred reminder of what residential school survivors endured and overcame. But a recent storm caused significant damage to the totem pole in Assiniboine Park. Now it needs a little TLC to help restore it before it moves to its new home. CBC's Felicia Adams spoke with the artist that created the totem pole nearly a decade ago.
Charles Joseph braved the rain, watching crews take down his largest piece of work. Emotional, crying tears of happiness.
Because it's not ruined. The story and the meaning of this pole is not ruined. It's making me feel good and happy to know that it's still going to happen and it's not going to get just put away.
The 21-meter totem pole stood in Assiniboine Park for years, telling the story of Canada's residential school system. Earlier this year, a lightning strike cracked the top section. Now, in an effort to restore and preserve it, the cedar tree carving will be moved from Assiniboine Park to a new location.
Bolts on there are bent, that's why they got to cut it off.
Where Joseph and a team of master carvers can begin work to fix it.
It carries the voices of survivors, the memory of those who never returned home, and the strength of our nations to heal and to move forward.
Grand Chief Jerry Daniels of the Southern Chiefs organization is hopeful the pole can be restored and moved to the atrium of the Wewene-Bagakinagwin development at the former Hudson's Bay building.
Our goal is to ensure that the truths of our history are never forgotten and that reconciliation continues to be lived, not just spoken of.
Welcome news for Joseph.
It's going to carry on when I'm not here in this world. That's what makes me feel good about is knowing that it's going to be here. The story will be told forever.
Continuing to inspire generations to come. Felicia Adam, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Riley's back in now, and a big thanks to you for filling in yesterday. I was unable to be here because I was at a very important event, the Harvest Manitoba Gala. Close to 1,000 people that came out for this event last night. They raised a record-breaking $1.4 million, and this all goes to help, of course, people in our province who use the food bank, 50,000 of them every month, and some really heartbreaking numbers. Nearly half of those are kids. So lots of great work being done by Harvest Manitoba. 100,000 people that rely on them every month, through their programs and the food banks. So they are really stepping up to help people in need right now.
Way to go, Manitoba.
Yeah,
for stepping up.
It was amazing. Some incredible, incredibly generous people that were there last night as well.
No kidding.
So good news to finish out your Friday.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of Friday,
yes,
it's Feline Friday. So let's take a look. I know, Carol, you've been waiting a while for this one, so here you go. Bisous, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. You know, another good day to probably relax on the couch, at least through the early part tomorrow. Then we'll get some sunshine, then maybe we can enjoy the outdoors again. Send your pictures to talkback@cbc.ca. 6 degrees first thing in the morning. Once we get into the day tomorrow, we'll start to see winds picking up again across southern and central Manitoba and to a northwesterly flow. And that's going to usher in some cooler air from the north. So that's going to hold temperatures back. As we get into the afternoon and the evening, we do have that risk of seeing some scattered showers, maybe the odd garden variety rumble of thunder into some of that as well. So that's your day tomorrow at a glance. Right now, 10 degrees in Winnipeg. That switch in wind has already started. Westerly right now, 26 in Winnipeg with a falling pressure. Across the rest of the province, temperatures hanging around 9-10 degrees across the west, 8 in Swan River, 3 in Thompson. Churchill at the moment sitting at 5 degrees. Your overnight temperatures, we are looking at things staying above the freezing mark. Normal low for this time of the year would be -1, so we're staying several degrees above that. 3s through Westman. You'll see the winds picking up here west 30, gusting to 50 through the west, looking at 7s, maybe a few showers into northwestern Ontario, particularly through Dryden and Red Lake through the overnight hours. And into northern Manitoba, this is where we have a chance of showers in northwestern Manitoba, but in the northeast, that's where we're looking at 5 to 10 millimeters of rain and some patchy fog possible as we get through the day on Saturday. 10 to 15 millimeters coming in this corridor from Thompson through to Gillam and Shamattawa as we get through Saturday. Temperatures staying in the single digits for much of the north tomorrow and some scattered showers through the Pas and OCN. Sunnier skies to the south, scattered showers, but very windy conditions. Looking at sustained winds at 40, gusting to 60 through the west tomorrow. And then some scattered showers you can see through the Inner Lake. And we'll see some of that into the Red River Valley as we get later into the afternoon. On Sunday, we'll skip ahead quick. We have the 13th annual WFPS Fun Run happening in the morning. When that starts at 8 o'clock, looking at a temperature around 7 degrees, Brittany, and staying around 8 through the end of that event at around 10 o'clock. There's some road closures happening as well, so keep that in mind.
Yes, and we keep your umbrella handy this weekend. Thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
Incarcerated people in Canada are often without access to information, but one group is hoping to change that. The Manitoba Prison Libraries Committee provides book and programming to help prepare inmates for reintegration. They help bring books behind bars and help inmates start a new chapter. Ashley Hewitt joins me now. Thanks so much for being here, Ashley.
Thank you so much.
So, Ashley, tell me a little bit about how the program works.
Yeah, certainly. So really, the reason we do the work we do is that there are really no real mandates that require provincial prisons to have libraries. So they don't have proper functioning or funded libraries. So we work to bring in books, information. We also go into prisons and facilitate book exchanges so we can help people find materials. And it's not just about books, but really accessing any kind of information that folks might need. And this really is important to us because even though accessing information is a human right, it's often just impeded on by the experience of incarceration. So we send in thousands of books every year. We really focus on high quality collections, things that people actually want to read. And these collections get passed around. They're well loved. When they're really well loved, folks sometimes take books with them when they leave. So more recently, we've been focusing on creating 2 new special collections of materials that are actually cataloged, so folks can check them out and return them. And we're hoping this ensures more equitable access so that everyone in the prison has a chance to get these materials. And these 2 collections are focused, one entirely on Indigenous materials and another on legal information.
So let's speak a little bit about those 2 new collections. Last time we spoke with you group, we heard there was an overwhelming number of requests for more Indigenous authors and in books about Indigenous culture. And one of the new collections focused on that. Why are you seeing such a demand for those types of books?
Well, for one, we really do have a stark overrepresentation of Indigenous peoples in our prisons. And so it is important for collections to be reflective of the population. And prisons and, of course, then their library services do have a responsibility to the Truth and Reconciliation calls to action. And number 36 in particular really outlines ensuring relevant cultural materials for Indigenous peoples. And we know literature can really be helpful for connecting folks to culture, to processing and understanding colonialism, to support healing. So we started the Joe Big George collection. This is a collection that was named for Joe, an elder that primarily worked in Milner Ridge Correctional Center. And in his experience as working as an elder and also being incarcerated himself, he really believed in the importance of Indigenous literature, just in supporting people in reflecting on themselves, their path, their future. So when he passed away, his partner, Joanna White, partnered with us to create a collection of entirely brand new Indigenous books that we would have in each prison. And again, we've had a lot of requests for Indigenous books in the past. So we built this collection partly on what folks have asked for, but also consultation with Indigenous librarians. So the collection has a really wide range of literature. We have a lot of Canadian and Manitoban Indigenous literature, and it's anything from books about beading and art and poetry to nonfiction, lots of language learning resources. Graphic novels tend to also be really, really popular. And so this is important to have just a really wide range that appeals to anything that people might be looking for.
Ashley, one of the other collections that's making its way through the system right now focuses on the legal system. Tell me a little bit about the importance of that.
Yeah. So our Legal Information for Incarcerated Manitobans initiative, we developed actually in partnership with the Manitoba Law Library. This was one of the few projects we have that actually also had some funding. So it didn't entirely rely on fundraising. And it's again a catalog collection to ensure that folks have access to the legal information that they really are actually entitled to. So these resources are meant to support folks in knowing their rights and then understanding the legal and justice processes that they're navigating. And the collection includes not just kind of Manitoban law, but also examples of Indigenous law and traditional Indigenous law. And so we really hope that this helps folks navigate the system. Legal resources are also sometimes hard to interpret, so we include a lot of like plain language interpretations to make it a little bit more accessible for people too.
Ashley, so much important work that you guys are doing. Thank you so much for your time and your work.
Thank you.
Still ahead, the discovery a team of paleontologists in Argentina have uncovered. After the break, stay with us. A team of paleontologists in Argentina have just uncovered the fossilized remains of one of the world's oldest dinosaur species. bones from the long-necked herbivore date back 230 million years. They were dug out from a remote area of the Andes Mountains over 3,000 meters above sea level. The scientists say the fossils are remarkably well preserved and provide a rare glimpse into the Earth's history during a time when the planet's biodiversity was rapidly expanding. Hikers on one of Banff National Park's busiest trails had some company earlier this week. This massive grizzly bear was seen wandering along the trail Tuesday. Some think it might have been the boss, Banff's famous dominant male grizzly.
Okay, not somebody I'd want to be tangling with. All right, as we get into the evening, still a few more scattered showers yet to come. It's pretty much done with us for the most part. I am looking at a bit of a brighter day tomorrow across the south. Watch for some scattered showers late evening into the overnight hours into Sunday morning. Temperatures staying in the double digits, maybe a few more showers yet to come on Monday. Fairly good chance of that. Then we're into the single digits through the balance of the week, and things a bit breezy as we get toward the end of next week as well. A couple weather pictures for you. First one of some fall colors, thanks to Ruth for sending this from Assiniboine Park. And one more of the sunrise. Kim took this one in Toulon.
Love it.
Gorgeous. Send yours to talkback at cbc.ca. Well, like the weather, we can all have different moods about art as well. Sometimes you like it, sometimes maybe you're thinking, and sometimes it's maybe a little weird.
But if you don't know art, you know what you like. See what you think of our daily lift. Okay, it's sculptures combining origami, paper folding, and car parts at an exhibit called Eternal Duality. For creator Keita Miyazaki, the duality of crafts versus cast iron points to bigger contrasts in contemporary life.
And the setting creates another duality. This decidedly modern art exhibit is housed in a 16th century theater in Rome, built for Pope Julius III.
Something to see everywhere you go there.
I do like the colors.
Yeah?
I do like the pop of color.
You know what? That's why there's art for everybody.
Yeah.
Subjective, you get to pick what you like.
Yeah, no
Don't
kidding.
worry, I won't make you any. I have no ability
Me neither.
in that department.
Me neither.
But maybe you can send us some more photographs that we can use.
That'd be kind of cool.
All right. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you back here Monday.